Who's gone, who's in the middle of Liverpool's massive rebuild? Sell all the players. Smash it all and rebuild the whole team. There is nothing to regret when the season is getting worse and worse. There is no other choice. With Liverpool FC sinking deeper and deeper into crisis, the next thing to do is certainly to list how many players will be added to the list of buy and sell in a frenzy. Alisson, stay. The Brazilian goalkeeper is almost the only name in the Liverpool first team to have had a good performance this season, and without him, it is likely that Liverpool would be in an even worse situation. The 30-year-old is still one of the best goalkeepers in world football, rarely making mistakes and making numerous saves for his team. He helped Liverpool to concede only 28 goals compared to the expected 29.8. Callum Kelleher, stay. If there are no surprises, the Republic of Ireland international will still be Liverpool's number 2 keeper until Alisson retires. The problem is that Kelleher is one of the few players the club can sell with relative ease for a profit. The goalkeeper himself also wants a regular starting position in the first team, which he will not get at Liverpool when Alisson is still playing very well. Adrian, go. The Spaniard is entering the final months of his contract and would be surprised if Liverpool made a new offer for Adrian. The club is tightening the signing of non-homegrown players, and it makes sense to say goodbye to the number 3 goalkeeper. Trent Alexander-Arnold, in. Dealing with the right-back's current form difficulties should be Klopp's top priority. There is no doubt that Arnold will be an important part of Liverpool's future squad as he is one of the most prominent modern fullbacks currently, who has contributed to changing the public perception of the position. There is an ongoing crisis of confidence with the 24-year-old, seemingly starting with his defensive flaws that have affected Arnold's form. He is still one of the best passers in the Premier League, but his attacking ability has, in recent seasons, dropped dramatically. With 2 assists so far this season, his expected assist rate has also dropped from 0.4 to 0.26 every 90 minutes. Calvin Ramsey, stay. In an effort to find a backup for Alexander-Arnold, Ramsey was signed from Aberdeen for £6.5 million. A young player to coach and occasionally on the pitch at some point to rotate the squad, this is basically a logical replacement for Nico Williams. However, Ramsey has only made 2 appearances for the first team, and injuries suffered at the start of the season have affected the 19-year-old's integration. Next year will be a very important year in Ramsey's development at Liverpool. Andrew Robertson, stay. Robertson's sullen face often appeared in front of the camera during Liverpool's disastrous performances. He deserves to be recognized for his dedication, but that is not the attitude and personality we know about Robertson. The Scotland international has struggled to maintain form this season, but unlike Alexander-Arnold, he has continued to score with 8 assists. Both Liverpool fullbacks are highly rated in terms of attack, and the 28-year-old's expected assists per 90 minutes rate has improved slightly from 0.19 to 0.23 this season. The same goes for opportunities created, which increased from 1.95 to 2.03. Kostas Tsimikas, stay. Unless they receive an attractive offer and find a player of similar caliber to replace the Greek international, Liverpool will still keep Tsimikas. Their other option is to bring in another player from the youth team, but it is very risky to have 2 young fullbacks start together. Virgil van Dijk, stay. Van Dijk hasn't been at his best this season, but who could have played better than him at Liverpool? Similar to Alisson, Van Dijk's level is undisputed. He is one of the best defenders in world football, Liverpool's best centre-back, and a very important link to the style of play they have adopted over the years. Ibrahima Konate, stay. Konate is also in a similar situation with Van Dijk. He has established himself as a quality defender and will become the leader of Liverpool's defence for the next 5 years. Konate usurped Joel Matip and Joe Gomez to become Van Dijk's regular partners last season, and there's nothing to suggest that he can't take the lead in Liverpool's defence when all are fit. Joel Matip, go. For most of his Anfield career, Matip has always straddled the line between a classy centre-back and an unreliable centre-back. When fully fit and mentally fit, Matip was calm and impressive in both defence and possession, but he was unable to maintain it, and that continued throughout the season. Matip's recent performances are very disturbing. He looked sluggish and hesitant in his own goal against Wolverhampton Wanderers. In 643 minutes in the Premier League this season, he has made 2 errors leading to an opponent's shot, while last season it took Matip 2,790 minutes for the same to happen. With 1 year remaining on Matip's contract, Liverpool will probably look for younger options to replace the German centre-back. Joe Gomez, stay. It has been suggested that Gomez, 25, should leave with Matip because his form has also declined quite a bit. Injuries have made Gomez no longer the perfect version as before. He no longer has explosive speed, and the English player's skill development is faltering. However, unlike Matip, who is over 30, Gomez still has plenty of time to reach her full potential. And with Liverpool handing Gomez a new 5-year contract in the summer, they clearly see him as part of their long-term future. Nathaniel Phillips, go. The 25-year-old has become an important part of the club, but not in the way either side would have liked. Every season, every transfer window, for one reason or another, fate kept Phillips at Liverpool. The latest is Ibrahima Konate's hamstring injury that has caused Phillips' move to Galatasaray to fall through the deadline. Phillips' 3 appearances this season have illustrated everything we know about the defender. The opportunity for this central defender to officially leave will come in the summer. Fabinho, go. 12 months ago, Fabinho was an invulnerable name in Liverpool's squad, but now, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world is seriously declining. In the current season, midfield has been a big problem for Liverpool when allowing opponents to break through too easily, and Fabinho has the biggest responsibility for that situation. Oddly enough, his defensive stats are so similar to last season, with 2.12 tackles per 90 minutes this season compared to 2.17 in the 2021-22 season, reaching a ratio of 2.17 tackles per 90 minutes. 1.21 and 1.24 respectively, and average 1.4 interceptions per 90 minutes compared to 1.46 last season. But if you see Fabinho in action, especially against Brighton in the FA Cup, when he should have been sent off for a reckless tackle on Evan Ferguson, you can see the Fabinho of the present as a man. Soulless person. Although only 29 years old, Fabinho is playing lazily like a 35-year-old player. Liverpool will keep Fabinho if he can find his best form, and if not, the club will have to make a tough decision in the summer with the Brazilian midfielder. Jordan Henderson, stay. Leadership is often overlooked at other clubs, but for Klopp, Henderson has always been the perfect leader for his team. The German coach has lost a lot of big personalities and leaders in the dressing room in recent seasons, and he certainly does not want a mainstay both professionally and mentally like Henderson to leave. The problem is that, like Fabinho, Henderson is not playing well at all. Despite still showing great form in the World Cup, Henderson has not shown he can provide consistent performances for Liverpool at the age of 33. It has been suggested that Henderson is no longer fit for a regular starting position, and should take the role of James Milner, in case the old man leaves in the summer. Thiago, stay. The Spaniard seems to be the only midfielder Klopp has full confidence in at the moment, as shown by Thiago's frequency of starting 11. There is no question about the Spaniard's ability to hold the ball, and his defensive contribution is also the most consistent of any Liverpool midfielder. Thiago averages 3.46 tackles per 90 minutes, followed by Fabinho with 2.12 tackles. Naby Keita, go. Does Keita deserve a contract extension? According to FBrev, in the past 12 months, compared to other midfielders, Keita has ranked above in most statistical categories, and at the moment he is one of the three midfielders Klopp trusts the most. The 27-year-old is actually one of the few Liverpool midfielders to have played well in the past few matches. Still, it's hard to forget Keita's dense history of injuries and the lack of consistency in his performances. This season, he only won 29.6% of the duels, compared to 52.1% last season. Keita's tackles and interceptions also decreased, with only successful passes per game. Increase. In addition, the fact that Keita always has to leave the field after about an hour of play also shows the unstable physical foundation of this midfielder. James Milner, go. It will be a sad day to see the experienced midfielder leave the club, but Liverpool need to be decisive as the old man's contract is about to expire. Milner is still trusted by Klopp, as shown by the fact that he has been the most substituted player this season, 15, so it wouldn't be too surprising if Milner was given another year's extension. But Milner is 37 years old, the age of retirement for many players, and perhaps it would make more sense for him to leave Liverpool peacefully to look for opportunities in a team with a breathable intensity. More, and the opportunity will be given to another young Liverpool player. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, go. It's quite unfortunate when looking back at the 29-year-old's time at Liverpool. Serious injuries have ruined Chamberlain's promising career at Merseyside, but parting is perhaps the best solution for all involved as his contract expires in the summer. Although Chamberlain had a brief stint back in the Liverpool starting lineup, it's hard to think that the midfielder will always play well, be injury-free and deserving of a new contract. Harvey Elliott, stay. The English midfielder is the only player to feature in all of Liverpool's 32 matches this season, scoring 5 goals and providing 1 assist. If there is any positive point Liverpool have taken from this season, it is the experience that young players like Elliott have accumulated after a stable playing period. There is no doubt Elliott will be part of Liverpool's long-term future, although a position and role is clearly something the midfielder is still looking for. Curtis Jones, stay. In contrast to Elliott, Jones has not been able to replace the men in midfield, although they have all declined in form. Injuries have limited Jones' ability to play, which is an issue, but it remains to be seen whether he can become a long-term Liverpool mainstay. The 21-year-old signed a 5-year contract in November. It can be seen that Liverpool still put their faith in Curtis Jones, but good, consistent performances are the deciding factor to help Jones can take a main place in the Premier League. Liverpool first team. Fabio Carvalho, stay. There's a lot of excitement about Carvalho's arrival, with the former Fulham midfielder providing Klopp with creativity and dynamism in every ball he plays. After the highlight was the winning goal against Newcastle in September, the Portugal U21 international was suddenly not used by Klopp and he was on the bench in 6 of Liverpool's last 7 matches. Klopp insists he has no problem with Carvalho, and this may just be the usual difficulty for a young player looking to adapt to one of the top clubs in Europe. Stefan Bajcetic, in. Bajcetic has been one of the rare reasons Liverpool fans have been able to smile in recent weeks, as the 18-year-old Spaniard has surpassed all expectations and delivered positive performances in the front line. Klopp's defender. His talent was evident from the moment Bajcetic arrived at the club's academy, but his rapid inclusion in the starting 11 was due in part to his senior's decline in form and injuries. And when given the opportunity, the 6th position, which is considered the most difficult to play in the Liverpool system, did not falter this young player. Arthur Melo, go. Anyone remember this guy? The Juventus on loan could not have foreseen that he would suffer a long-term injury after playing 13 minutes for Liverpool. He could be part of the rebuilding process if Liverpool activate a €35 million buyout option, £31.2 million, $37.5 million, but unless Arthur creates a string incredible performances over the next 3 months, otherwise the club will have no regrets for the Brazilian player. Mohamed Salah, stay. It has not been a memorable season for the Egyptian, who for the past 5 years has symbolized everything good about Klopp's side. His form declined after being defeated in the Africa Cup of Nations final. This season, Salah has had fewer touches, less successful dribbles, shots per 90 minutes, and his expected goals per 90 minutes have dropped from 0.78 in all competitions to 0.51 in the season. In recent times, there is no shortage of examples of a player earning a big contract and then falling, but Liverpool still have full faith in Salah. He still has 17 goals in all competitions. The striker's form is partly affected by the weakness and mediocrity of the whole Liverpool team and the hope that he will return to being himself. Darwin Núñez, in. A very wild player. Yes, Núñez is unpredictable, but raw. It will take time for the striker to hone the qualities that will make him a top scorer in Europe, but Núñez is undeniably the one who creates opportunities for him. Liverpool's progress, and then things will be better for the 23-year-old. Unfortunately, the World Cup took place just as he had just found the feeling of playing. Núñez's rhythm of play became chaotic after returning from Qatar. The number of goals is increasingly scarce, with only 1 goal in the last 8 matches, along with dozens of missed opportunities. Núñez has launched 22 shots since the return of the Premier League and is still unable to score. Luis Diaz, stay. Liverpool had to accept the winger's absence after he limped off the pitch with a knee injury against Arsenal. An unsatisfactory start and one more knee problem during the World Cup break kept Diaz out until March. He was a bright spot in Klopp's squad, constantly creating moments of brilliance and energy, in good spirits and constantly motivating his teammates on the pitch, something we don't see much of in Liverpool players this season. Diogo Jota, stay. Another player who brings positivity to Liverpool's attack is still recovering from injury. A speedy recovery is the only concern for the 26-year-old. Liverpool need him back in perfect shape to help the team for the rest of the season. After being an unstoppable goalscorer early in his Anfield career, Jota has been a shot at Liverpool since April 2022. He has only scored 4 goals this season, and Jota will need to put a lot of effort into being a lasting link in the rebuilding of Liverpool. Roberto Firmino, stay. The Brazilian player is out of contract in the summer. Klopp has made it clear his intention to keep Firmino, so it is up to the player to stay at Liverpool or leave. It is argued that he still shows his worth even though he is currently only the second choice in Liverpool's attack. Despite frequent injuries, Firmino has proven that he is still a decent striker, with 9 goals and 4 assists this season. With so many changes in Liverpool's forward line, being able to keep a player who has played so well in the number 9 role over the years would be helpful. Cody Gakpo, stay. The Dutch player came to Liverpool in the context of the club being in crisis. And while Luis Diaz was able to maintain the positive energy he had when he joined Liverpool last season, Gakpo is having a hard time adjusting to the new team. Gakpo has potential and this year's season is still quite long. He deserves another chance to continue contributing to Liverpool next season.